beautiful souls. This is Nikita, and I welcome you to my channel. This is going to be mostly an audio update about this next phase of March. If you have been noticing, March has been really slow. A lot of things, be it financially, be it health issues, be it reflecting back on the past, rethinking stuff, uh, certain emotions, certain wounds which happened eons ago, several years ago, has been surfacing for depending on where you are, which cycle you are in. Even so, everyone has been affected, and it is like I have been telling you that the energies of 2018 was still working to help us clear out a lot of old conditioning belief systems, a lot of old wounds, and come to make us realize that we are going through the process of ascension and we need to close out karmas, learn our lessons, learn to live in unconditional love, forgive others, forgive ourselves. That is not to say to condone or put up with abuse of any kind. It is about not letting certain situations that happened, certain incidents that happened, to affect you for the rest of your life. To move on energetically, not just physically create a distance between you and that person or those people. A lot of family dynamics have also come up at this time under the scanner, because especially if you're walking a spiritual path full time, for example the way I am, and not just as something which is also just one part, right? Like, lot of my viewers and subscribers and those who are on my WhatsApp groups and earlier on my Facebook groups, they have different professions. But my profession, my emotions, my entire life revolves around this work: ascension, spirituality, metaphysics, the esoteric, right? So it is, if you are also one of those, if you are a healer, if you are a spiritual teacher, a life coach, any of those things, you may also be finding that you are at a dissonance, and people might perceive it as discord or disharmony, if not outright conflict and fights and arguments with your family members. You are beginning to realize that they may never get what you're doing or support it, and their idea of success or well being or happiness may be completely different from what you are striving towards. For example, if my idea of success is how many people I am reaching out, affecting, helping, uh, explaining the process of ascension, somehow managing to assist them, be it by explaining to them what exactly is the process, sharing tools, guided meditations, so that it becomes a little less harder for them than what me and many other first wavers, the way showers, had to go through. That does not mean that they will not have to go through their journey, or that they will get a free pass into, um, sorry about that, I'm just putting a charger on my phone, which is why I could not make this recording where I usually do it. um, it is not to say that they can skip steps. The lessons, be it of how do I find my bearings, how can I find my inner happiness and joy, There is no shortcut to it, and you cannot just say the affirmation. You cannot just say thank you and not mean it. If your actions, if your words, if what you're feeling inside is not in alignment with the gratitude, then the same situation may keep coming up and the same lessons, and you may get triggered. For example, if I have asked, uh, have my videos and audios been assisting you, and if it triggers someone into saying I always have responded or whatever, I have given donations or I have placed orders with you, then it should not have triggered you. It was a innocent question, right? So whenever you get triggered, understand that it's about you, it's never about the other person. So, light workers and way showers, and those who are walking the spiritual path in full earnestness, at this time you may find yourself realizing that your family may for a long time not be on board, and they are going through their journey and awakening in their own way. A lot of people may have found in the recent month a lot of family members falling severely ill to the point of requiring surgery, and that is also a form of clearing out the old, the toxic, but they had to go through a lot of physical pain, a lot of physical symptoms, medication, and even surgery requiring hospitalization to release that, which you are doing by doing your inner work, by allowing the purging to happen, by doing your introspection, by working on yourself, by focusing on your well being. Initially, on this journey, it may seem like that you're being asked to be selfish, that you are being asked to focus on yourself and take care of yourself, your health, your emotional well being, to not do things out of a sense of mere obligation which you are resenting or having grudges about. It's better not to do something that you are doing it resentfully. Rather, it is not selfish, it is about once you're in a good space. An ill doctor, a sick doctor, is not useful in the hospital because he is going to contaminate, or even he's going to make things worse, because they are patients there with very low immune system. He may compound the situation, is what they are telling me. So when, if you are carrying wounds and being on this path, obviously means you are way more sensitive, you have faced a lot of challenges, you have been carrying emotional wounds, you have come down to experience a challenging childhood, a challenging marriage, or challenges vis-a-vis finances, god willing not all of them. Some people have faced all of them, but at different phases of their life. But they all are coming in to release you of certain karmic debts, to bring you certain lessons, and as soon as you finish, you will reap the rewards, you will receive your blessings. And those who are in alignment with law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of frequency, and when they are coming in balance with the inner masculine and feminine, the more laws of the universe out of the 12, the more you're in alignment with, the easier your life and your time passes like in a blink. You are in harmony. Anybody that's not in harmony with your vibration just naturally falls off without even a discord or an argument. They just disappear from your life. You are able to come in contact with your soul family, people who are willing to support you emotionally or energetically, who have similar belief systems, so you actually develop very deep profound bonds with each and every one. and then you start understanding what true love is. And when you are healed, when you're in complete self reliance, self sufficiency, and self love, and then when you do something out of unconditional love, that's when you are moving into, you can again start expanding your nuclei to involve more and more. Initially, yes, this journey isolates you, you feel lonely. That is to get you out of codependent habits and patterns and relationships, and people may call you selfish, but the sooner, and you cannot hasten the process, everyone has to go through it at their own pace. But laziness, or just justifying that I don't have time to do my inner work or my affirmations or clear or use my violet flame for even 2 minutes in a day, those are just excuses, just because you know you are not actually doing it. That's when you get triggered by others who may point out something to you, because you feel defensive, you feel you need to justify what you are doing or not being able to do, because you don't want to do it. There's still resistance. There's resistance to changing that aspect of yours, because it has served you, it has kept you safe in some form or the other, right? Or got you certain benefits. For example, some people love talking about how ill they are, is because they have realized over, it's a conditioning, that they have realized the only time I get time and attention and caring from people around me is when I tell them I'm not well. So, what is the benefit of staying ill for them? Is the attention they're getting from others. So, take it as it applies if you find yourself in resistance. So, apart from self love being one of the most crucial things, the second is addressing your fears. It's a huge topic, but if I have to simplify, because most of the commandments or the directives you receive from your higher self and your masters, even in your meditation, are very simplified, and if you start going down that route, it becomes more than a thesis. You can write volumes of encyclopedia on it. So, I'm not trying to cut this short, but to deal with your fears, the only way is to go through them, to face them. And when you find yourself unable to do that, the only question you can ask yourself is, what is the story my ego and my brain is telling me about the worst that can happen? What is the worst thing that will happen if I take this decision, I take this step? If I do get this XYZ check cashed, what is the worst thing that will happen? Why am I procrastinating this? What is the fear here? The fear is, once I cash that check, I will spend it, and then I may not have something for a rainy day. And now you know the fear is that you're not trusting that more will come, and hence it implies that you are in a lack mentality. The problem is people just look at what is in front of them, that I have a check, so I can't be in a mentality lack. Yes, you are. And we do keep falling into the same pitfalls, even after being very mindful, even after doing these works and everything consistently for several years, because the rules have changed since the past few years, at least since 2012, and no one gave anyone a circular with what the new rules are. Being in gratitude and forgiveness, self love, overcoming your fears, making peace with your shadow aspects and your ego, along with generosity, along with being of service, Generosity is again not only about money, it's with time, it's with a compliment, it's with saying a kind word, lending a hearing ear without offering a solution, without thinking the person needs to be rescued, without trying to cripple them. Just being there for someone is also generosity. Loving someone without expectations, the rules of the relationships, especially romantic relationship or the ones like marriage, romantic relationships is what I mean by that, they are changing drastically. Those of you who have heard about twin flames and you think that's not for me, but the point is that same template of being in that kind of love where love brings you growth, freedom to be yourself, to be accepted exactly as you are, both individuals being responsible, self reliant, in connection with the divine, surrendering to the divine, being mindful, being present, taking things day to day. That is going to be asked even out of the collective. Not immediately, but because right now even the twin flames are still learning the lessons, or there have been certain templates which have failed because people could not overcome the society's sanction or rules or conditioning, or they gave in to their fears, or they were too comfortable where they were. And what is very important about this equinox, this full moon, this restart point, if you have observed, this March moved very slow, as if very deliberately making you go through each and everything, is so that with this shift in energy, all that you have been clearing and purging, whether you have been on this journey for decades or you've just started it, there are a lot of new waves, this one entire new wave which has been awakening this March. All of us are getting a brand new start with this equinox. This is the new year I've been telling you about. If you watched even my previous video, I talked about it. This is more than the actual new year that we celebrated. This carries the changing of guard, the changing of energy, the completion of old cycles, the purging that you've been doing, the clearing you've been doing, the lessons you've been acquiring. Now you're going to understand the whys. You're going to see the change. You're going to receive your new gifts. You're going to receive new energy to make new starts, new beginnings, because now you have decided what you need to let go. A lot of people have already let go, be it of karmic relationships, redundant jobs, things that were not keeping them happy in any way, where there was no growth, there was no evolution, there was just a stagnancy. And now this fresh new energy, this inspiration, brand new ideas, all that is going to be brought in. For a lot of us, it is going to happen in our jobs, it is going to happen in our love, if we have taken the very scary steps of moving away, not just physically, energetically, and then cleared out all those wounds, all those defensiveness, grudges, anger, fears, grief, which is still ongoing, might I add, because we are still in retrograde, Mercury retrograde, which is going to end towards the end of March. So even though we are going to begin to start these and start seeing these new beginnings, or what we are walking towards, it is probably going to take place more in the next month, the brand new year for each and every one of us. What we are clearing out, and what I suggest as a release exercise, and especially because it is holy, is make sure you revise every aspect of your life: friends, acquaintances, family members, jobs, patterns. What are you putting up with which you know makes you very unhappy in someone's behavior, be it their codependencies, their addictions, be it bad habits, be it carelessness, be it that there is a relationship where you are the only one who is giving and giving and giving, and you have to release it and cut it out. Clear your energies, cry if you have to, journal if you have to, run if you have to. Why running? Because you're actually physically changing your timeline. Go for very long drives, don't think at that time, go into a trance so you can shift your timeline. Another thing that you can do is, when you go for your walks, be it evening walk, morning walk, after dinner walk, is instead of talking, instead of thinking, instead of mulling, count your steps as you're walking, or do a chant. I like chanting while I'm walking. So you have your beads, you're keeping track of how many times you have done a mantra or a chant while you're walking. Okay. Also, what is going to happen after this is you're going to slowly start seeing a lot of things this summer. I know it sounds like a long time, but it's not. Time passes anyway. You can still stay in the same old, and time is going to pass, or you can continue doing this, continue going with the flow, continue surrendering, continue to do your introspection, keep revising, keep reviewing. Why, what, why am I staying, why do I want to go? Is it fear based, is it love based? Not romance based, love based. Do I love this job? End of the day, I really love doing this, that's why I want to stay. Or is it because I'm afraid I will never find another job, or I think I'm incapable of doing anything else, and hence I'm not willing to make the shift? That's fear based. Because the minute you do, with the inspiration that will come, with the fresh new beginning that will come after you have cut out and release the things that are meaning to end, the universe is telling you again and again through synchronicities, songs, messages, books, audios, videos, bringing you again and again repetitive situations to draw your attention to it. Once you cut it out, you will start seeing these beginnings happen in your physical world. So if you're wondering when you're going to do, when you're going to get this new starting point, it is now. You have received the tools that you need, just getting more but not using them. The information that you've received, just keeping it at the knowledge level in your brain, you're tackling it cerebrally. Trying to understand emotions cerebrally is never going to work. To understand somebody's emotion, you have to feel it, you have to be an empath, or be compassionate, be considerate. Even if you're not empath, you can still be empathetic. What I have been told is, wherever you are at is exactly where you need to be at this time, and you have the tools within you. You've already been given those tools so that you can create, co-create. Right now, a lot of you are getting messages such as, what do you want? How do you want your life to look? Who do you want to truly be with? Why are you choosing to stay? In a lot of ways, you are being questioned, and you keep answering with, I don't know. The point is, you have to know so that you can co create. You're being given that blessing to co create, to become this magician. so that the universe can bring you that in the next phase, this phase which is just about to start, because of which we have been going through so much clearing. We have released angers of lifetimes. We have been helping out in clearing family dynamics, the dysfunctions, calling it out, even if it's just to your own self, that this is where my family has a dysfunction. We are too codependent, or we are too much in our logic, or we are too materialistic, or we resort to walking away from each other when somebody is emotional or angry, or we fake friendships just because we think that is the done way, that is the acceptable way. Calling it out, we have been clearing out our bloodlines, we've been clearing out our lineage, we have been clearing out what has been called curses of centuries over our family lines, right? There might be a lot of physical symptoms, from headaches, blurry vision, ringing of ears, which are the common, the ascension flu, sneezing, that's your sinus issues when your third eye is opening, but also of rashes when the energy is right now so intense. You may be getting rashes, itches for no reason. You may not even know, you didn't go out in the sun, there's no mosquito, there's no bug around you, and you may be getting acne or pimples, or your hair might be falling and really thinning out since last 2 years, which may be now a point of concern to you. You may think that you're going through a lot of hormonal shifts and changes. Your menstrual cycles may be longer, shorter, your sleep is affected. You might be seeing a lot of weird dreams that are not even making sense to you, but some dreams that are very prophetic, are very symbolic, are bringing you messages, and those are the dreams you remember very vividly. So please write them down, because they're carrying messages for you right now. Your whatever you're thinking is going to start manifesting. So if you think, I'm so unhappy, I'm so unlucky, is so and so upset with me, or whatever, that's exactly what you're going to manifest. Be careful of what you're thinking, feeling and speaking. Not just what you're speaking, not just what you're writing, not just what all of them. Keep cancelling out. If you do think negative, we all do, immediately respond by manifesting the opposite 3 to 4 times, 10 times, right? So at this time, a lot of you had asked me to kind of give a schedule on how you can incorporate the various tools I have been sharing with you all, and especially those of you who have done my spiritual toolkit workshop with me. um, the best way I can make a schedule for all of you is, when you wake up in the morning, don't rush off, don't get off your bed immediately. Take a deep breath, in fact, take 3 deep breaths, which you can feel filling into your belly, and very slowly exhale through your mouth, with your mouth made as a O 3 times. Join your hands. See your crown chakra connecting with the divine, with the white light. Pray to whichever entity name that you connect with as God, be it Almighty or Shiva, Krishna, Ram, Jesus, Mother Mary, Ma Durga, Hanumanji, Ganesha, anyone, Allah. Just connect and see their light entering you through the top of your head, filling your entire body, and see this light expanding through your heart chakra and spilling into your entire day. Okay, I visualize it like a calendar of 24 hours of that day, and every row is getting filled with this beautiful divine light, blessing it, securing it. And that's when you will start. When you're brushing your teeth, you need to be looking into your reflection in the mirror. Look directly into your own eyes and keep repeating, I love you, I truly, deeply, sincerely love you. I love you exactly as you are. If you don't want to say too many things, you can just keep repeating, I love you, I love you. And you have to try and mean it as sincerely as you can. Yes, initially it will sound very fake. Yes, initially your mind will wander off. Yes, initially it will not seem to be making much of a difference. And one day it will just click and it is going to alter your life. So, if you brush your teeth for between 2 to 5 minutes, that's all you need to do. When you're taking your shower, along with your shower, merge the golden shower meditation, be it for a minute or for the entire duration of when your water is on. Okay, when you're going for your morning washroom, that's when you have to do your affirmation. My intake, assimilation, and elimination is in perfect order. All right, now you will get ready, you will do your cooking, make your tiffin, or whatever you need to do for your family. Now, before you're stepping out of your house, you will take 30 seconds to visualize yourself in a protective bubble. Initially, I encourage everyone to see themselves in a bubblegum pink bubble to attract loving situations and loving experiences into their lives. If you feel you are going to a place or you're going to be interacting with people who are very negative, you can see the violet flame engulfing you. You can protect and shield yourself using a transparent crystalline bubble or a golden bubble, and then you step out. You do your day as you do. Just remember to look into the eyes and thank anyone who does anything. Just because you're buying a product does not mean you do not need to say thank you to the auto rickshaw guy, to the vegetable vendor, to your maid servant, to anybody, everybody. The whole day say thank you. If you don't say prayers before eating your meals, it's enough to close your eyes and say thank you and bless everyone who has helped bring this meal to me. That includes the farmers, the factories, the person who cooked it, the person who packed it, which could be you. You're blessing everyone. You're thanking everyone and thank God for what you are receiving. There are several things you can do to end your day. It depends on how much you want to do it. Anytime during the day you need, you can do your affirmations. But for those who are working people, you may not have the wherewithal, and that's perfectly fine. Once you get home, make sure you're washing your hands, your feet, and your face if you are not someone who likes to take a second bath. If you can, use a little bit of salt, Epsom, crystal, or even regular table salt before you wash your hands or your feet. It will really help you clear your energies. When to do your Ho'oponopono is the best time is before you sleep. That's when you can also do your gratitude list, your reviewing of the day, setting your intentions for the next day, and just remember to do 5 gratitudes before you sleep, right? So, though right now it's sounding like a lot, when you just separate it the way I have just told you throughout the day, it will not feel like a task. When you are doing your workouts, if you set the intention that I'm releasing any toxins, any dense energies, angers, fears, griefs in my cellular memory, I am now going to flush it out through my sweat, and then start your workout, your running, your aerobics, your yoga, anything. It's going to work because it's your intentions that make it happen. So, I know this is a little longer one, and there were a few more things I want to say, but now I'm going to wrap up, hoping that it is going to help you. For fear, it's two things. What is the worst that can happen? and then facing it. When to take the leap of faith? The minute you know this is what you have to do, because the minute you delay, and the more you delay, the harder it gets. It's like standing on the board in a swimming pool. If you don't jump the first time, the higher your fear gets and the more difficult it is for you to overcome it. When to surrender? Every day and every time you feel resistance coming up. When to forgive yourself and others? Whenever you feel a sense of choking, heart contraction when they say or do something, tightening in your throat, when there's anger, when there's resentment, that's when you have to do it. As many times as it takes, as long as it takes, right? So I leave you all with a lot of love and light. I request you all to continue giving me your thumbs up, your shares, your comments, and I leave you with a lot of love and light. God bless you all. This is Nikita, and I really hope you get this fresh new wave of energy, inspiration, love that is true, that is deep, that you have been wishing for, that you've been working towards, that which you deserve, the ability to see the truth, the clarity, the ability to receive truths, and to cut out that which is not for your highest and best, so that you can get your fresh new beginning in prosperity and in your physical life. And that's what I wish for each and every one of you. Bye for now.